Okay, so last week we finished the background animation. Today I'm gonna try to focus on the text animation here. And hopefully we get to finish at least that component for today. And then after that, we need to finish the text animation. The cover, the left side cover. That shows only half of the text. So anyway, start. So I found a few problems with the last coding session, and I'm gonna fix that before we go to the text animation. So I realized late that you could bind a CSS file, basically making it only applicable to a component. Currently, I applied all the CSS globally, which is not really ideal. So I'm gonna fix that for now. Rename. This should work. Oops. And then import it. Okay. Oops. I need to search this. Let's test if this works. Image wrapper. Imported files. Maybe I should have tested this off stream first. But And I'll try. I think it's the wrong file name. Yep, it's the wrong file name. So, but the styling's still off. It's weird. Maybe need to restart the server. It's different. This container. I'm gonna try for like 5 more minutes and then I'm just gonna revert the changes and I have to go back to it. But it should be working. Don't know. That's the error. Last name. This works though. I can actually log this. Yeah, it's all there. Oh, okay. I see. Should be camel case. And should. Okay, it's not. Oh yeah, there it is. Okay. It's not complete though. This should be yes. Okay, so that works. Another problem I saw is this one. Just duplicate styling. Don't need that. Okay. So now we need to make the mask text. The one that shows it's partly invisible, but when you hover it turns white, but it doesn't animate just the opacity, it animates by filling up the text with white. This might take a while actually, because I think it's harder than the background animation. So anyway, yeah, I should start that. Maximize that. I should change that, but I can wait. Right now it's a plain list with absolutely no styling. We'll also need to change that. I need to create a component for it. Just create a file here. Let's call it list. I don't need to import React. And we can move the list. I'm just gonna close this. props. Interface props. Need set active item. This is the one that sets the which item is being hovered over. So actually, to get the type for that, I usually just check the types returned from this set state. So that's the type we need. This is TypeScript specific stuff. If you're just using React and HTML and CSS, you don't really need this. I mean, plain JavaScript. Missing imports. So this should receive list props. Set active item. Or shouldn't be set active. Set active item. Okay, so we're missing the styles because right now it's all over. It's over here. So for that, you'll need to create a new CSS file specifically for the list. List.module.css. And just move everything. So we need to change this to camel case because you can't use dashes on when accessing JavaScript objects. So for example, here it needs to be styles list container. Now it's a syntax error to use this, so that's why we're using camel case here. Item. So I haven't imported the styles from list.module.css. Need to change this stats. Should add the list. Why is it working? Oh no, it's not working. It's still here. Okay. So change this component. Yeah, just change this as component. List. And it should accept the. That's weird. Okay, import list. Set active item. This is the same. This one. Is it working? It's working, I think. Sanity check. Okay, yeah, it is definitely the component. But the styles are still missing. Wonder why. Class list. Oh, okay. So I didn't actually change all the styles are still hard-coded with plain class names, but it should be imported via the styles object. That's weird. Styles from list module CSS. Then here we just call that what? Hello VS Code. What was that? List container. Change that. Styles that list. Over here it's styles.list item. There, so we're back to where we were, except now we extracted it to its own component, and we'll do all the styling for the text and the logic here on this file. So first thing, I need the fonts. Actually, the font. This is Montserrat, I think. Montserrat. What's up? Late ko nakita. How to use this font? Guessing bold. And 500 maybe. And then embed. Okay. I should create a global style sheet, I think. Yeah, let's do that. Global. Oh, no. That's wrong. I need to add this to the head tag. So let's go to Next.js. Head tag. Index page. Does this work anywhere? I don't know. Let's try. Surround. Need to import it. Next slash head. No, wrong. Should be. Let's try this. What's that? Should appear with the head tag. Yep, it's there. Okay, so that's working. So now just use it. Add the font to the list item. And yeah, it's working now. Okay. Not sure what font size this is. Let's try 200. Oh no, not 200. 150. Okay, no. It's too large. 120. Nah. 100. Font family. Text transform. Okay. Oh, the font weight's off. Font weight. This is 500. That's weird. What? Change that to bold. The text names are very they don't look good if they're just item dash 0 1 2 3. I should add the actual names of the photos first. I think that would make it look much better. So let's start with that. So I have a variable here called constants. I guess the names should also come from here. We'll duplicate it. Oh, no, never mind. So let's call it name dogo URL. It's harder. Did I use the same names? Okay, I'll just go with the file name then. Photography. Boats. So this will break the current animation. Yeah, the images are gone. I'll fix that first. So initially it was a plain string. Now it's an object. So all I have to do is just press dot URL and it should be fixed. So now for the names of the list items. We should have access to the object here. Okay, so just change this to source that name, and it will render the names given in the constants. It wasn't supposed to be uppercase. I think it was supposed to be lowercase. Font weight should be bigger. (100 pixels). Bold. Extra bold. Set that. Oh no, this is black. Okay. Where did I put that? So we're just adding all the other font styles available for font setup. Well, all the bold fonts, so we can use more. From there, we can just change the one the list items use. Bold. Maybe 900. Let's try. Yeah, I think this is the one I used, or maybe 800. I don't know. We'll go with this for now. Okay. I guess we'll start with the animation first, but there's another thing that's missing here. If you actually shrink the screen, it's not gonna scroll, which is wrong. Fix that later. For now, we'll focus on the hover animation, because I think that's more interesting. Okay, so start with that. Close everything that I don't need. Just focus on these two files and just split them. Okay, first is the opacity. I think it should be... first I think I need to wrap this in a span. Because the trick here is actually to have two text elements that are on top of each other perfectly. And then you hide one. One is color white, one is opaque. I don't know if that's the right word. And then you just cover it, or cover the other one, the opaque one, with the white one when the mouse hovers over the list item. So yeah, that's what we'll do. So we'll use spans as the actual text elements. I actually need two of them, but that will double the text obviously. So let's call this one styles.mask, and for now we'll just display none. We'll fix the styling later. None. So this is the one below. This is the one that's going to be opaque. Let's call this You know what? I'm gonna search if that's the right word. Okay, opaque is the wrong word. I'm stupid. Okay. Fuck. Anyway. Transparent then. Transparent. Opacity 0.5. I think it should be color black. I'm stupid. Oh no, that's not right. I'm actually gonna reference the old code for this one. Let's see. I'll just copy this. Okay, now it's gone. That's not the right one. Item. Doesn't make sense though. Why is it gone? Oh, because I had the opacity. That's still gone though. Oh, it's there, but it's barely visible. Other hovered. 0.2 color white. Can open the old one just to get the color. Let's see. That's weird. Yeah, that's definitely the one. Oh, okay. When the others are being hovered, it's actually a different color. Okay, get it. Let's see. Let's try changing this to white, just to see if it's actually the right one. I think that's this one. White. Yeah, that's the right color if it's the white background. But when the items are hovered, it's no longer the right color. So we need to fix that. When an image is hovered, it should be black with 0.2, I think. Okay. Let's try. RGBA 0.2. Only if there's an active item, I think. So that means this needs to receive the active item. Just type number, active item. And the active item comes from the index page, I think. Yeah, here. So active item, this is just the number that same number we dispatch in set active item. Active item. So if active item, we use that color, or we need another one. Let's just use pink for now, just to know if it works. Okay, it does work. I think the colors are still the opacity is too low. Need to add the transition for that. A simple CSS transition would work better here rather than using frame or motion just to animate a simple color. That would cost too much performance, I think. Transition 0.2 seconds. Why does it? Ah, okay, I get it. So yeah, that's the goal. But it doesn't work always. Ah, I see. Should be when active item is not equal to null, because 0 is a valid number for the state. Yeah, that's the color we need. For now, we'll just use pink here. Oh no, I mean white. I should remove the opacity. We don't need it anymore. There we go. Okay. It should be back to 2, I think. Yeah, that's the right color. So now for the fill animation. Let's start with positioning the actual text elements. Because right now, if I remove display none, it's gonna be on top of each other. Not on top of each other. But this is wrong, so. So obviously they have to be position absolute. I think only for the text on top, and then hide that with a containing div with overflow hidden, and then when you hover over it, you change the width to 100% to make it fill up the actual text. So we'll start with positioning. So list item with 2 spans. This list item needs to be position relative for this to work. Oh? Not really. Iba ibig sabihin ng parallax eh. Pero close enough. Anyway. Position absolute. Okay. Top 0, left 0. Now they're gone. But they're not actually gone. They're actually on top of each other. Okay. They should have a div. The thing that hides it. Let's just write a div. Color pink, please. Okay. Para sa'yo, Johnny. Kailangan pati yung isa. Okay, so this div, class name, styles, hider. This should be position absolute as well, and overflow hidden with 100%, height 100%. Oh, CSS. What happened? Top 0. Kailangan natin alisin yung pink. Ano? Pa ako nakagawa ng last. Size ko rin. Gawin mong career. Arali mo ulit. Wait, nalilito na ako. Alisin natin yung pagka-pick ng isa. Okay. Pero pag nag-hover, kailan po pwede mag-enroll sa masterclass ni Shimon? Ito na yun. Okay, so this is the idea, to have a div that hides the second text that's inside. So if you actually change the div of this, the width of this one, you notice it fills up it looks like it's filling up the text, but it's not. It's actually revealing the one below it. So that's the trick we're trying to make. We can set the default to 1 to always show one of the images, and then disable the event for now, I think. Never mind. Okay. Okay, so the filling or the hiding animation should be coming from the right rather than the left. That's the first problem. Let's refresh this. Let's try with 0 or 50% for now. Oh no, it should be in the hider. Okay. How do you put it to the right though? It shouldn't be left 0, it should be right 0. But now the text is off. Fuck. Maybe this should be right 0 as well. Yeah, okay. Okay, so I'm gonna try to explain what happened. Let's see. Li. Anyway, so for list item, it needs to be position relative. That way, any child items that are position absolute will follow that item. So the first one isn't absolute, it's actually just static. This first item is the one that defines, maybe I should zoom in. It's the one that defines the width and height of the parent list item. Now, the second item, the hider, the pink one, it's position absolute. This way, it doesn't push any content it doesn't push the li to change its width. It's hard to explain position absolute, but if you know the first styles it has to have is to have top and right to 0. That way it's aligned to the right of the text, since we want it to come from the right. But that's just the hider. The text itself also needs to be positioned to the right. Below it, that way, because if you put it to the left, you'll notice that it follows this is the hider, right? Okay, so if it's the child component, the child span is top and left 0, it will follow the leftmost part of the hider. So for example, if I change this to 10 pixels, you can better see that it changes its position. It's following the left side of the parent. But that's why we use right 0. That way it follows the right side. And obviously the right side of the text starts with S, and then you can see it's the same text. That was a bad explanation. I'm gonna try again next time when I compile this to a much clearer video. But yeah, check out Harris Heller and Sons for NCS music. Yeah, next time. I'll add music next time, but maybe background music. But I'm afraid of like copyright shit. Ba't ako nag-English sa'yo? Tagalog ka naman. So now the position is correct. Now what's left is when you hover over the item, it needs to change its width from 50% to 100%, making it look like it filled up the text. I can actually demo this. 50% transition to 0.2 seconds. Yeah, it's already there. So we just need to fix that. It should be white. Let's go back to white. Not covered, missing. Interesting. NCS. Yeah, I remember NCS. Mag-Tagalog ako kasi. Pwede naman. Pero yung target audience hindi lang sa Philippines eh. Maybe someday sa programming community. Okay. Does it start from 0? Oh, okay. So the hover element will have, the default is 50% of the white. The white text defaults to 50. The hovered item goes to 100 and the rest goes to 0. Yikes. Okay. For now, we'll use CSS transition. So that's the default, the 50% over there. So the hider, we need to change this one's width depending on which is being hovered. Let's see. We have an index here. Okay, so if the active item, which is the hovered item, we'll start with width. If the active item is equal to the current index, then we use 100%. If it's not, it needs to go to 0%. Yeah, that's it. Very simple. Now I'm not gonna use plain CSS for this animation. Should use firmware motion because this one's, we need the better easing. Easing is it's like a, how do I explain this? It's how something moves. It's not just linear. It needs to have acceleration, deceleration, mass, velocity, stuff like that. So that's what we need to animate with firmware motion. Tagalog na ako nito, nasa 50%. Gawin natin 100%. Bruh. Doesn't look right. Maybe this should have a transition. No, that's worse.
In this video, we're going to dive into what it takes to get a very basic animation up and running with React Spring.
Dude, nosebleed ako. I can't Tagalog. Narinig mo na ba yung sarili mo mag-English? Pwede ka na rin mang nosebleed eh. Kind of stuck. Doesn't look right because there's something. The text below is also white, and then the fill up animation is also white. So you see this line that just passes through. It's not supposed to be like that. What did I do before? I can't remember. I don't understand. Maybe I should add the cover, the one on the left side. Then we could actually see what's happening. Because I need the contrast that it makes. Yeah, I should do that. So should be at the root though, because it needs to be 100% of everything. List container, that can be here. Okay. So we'll call this style set cover. We'll just add the styling here instead of creating a new file because I'm lazy. Background white. And with 50%. And it's gone. It's not here. What? Oh, wait a minute. Can it add the class name, I think? Ah, it should be just cover. Okay, the height needs to be 100% as well. Okay, yeah, that works. Okay, so the text below should not be white. The reason you're not seeing it is because I think it's white. If you change this to black, yeah, it's on top, but it's invisible because it's the same color. So we need to fix that. How though? Ah, I know. Should use this color instead of white. Oops. There we go. Okay, now the right side is off. But the right side of the text should come from the second element, the animation text. Why are you gone? And why is this? Ah, 0%. No, that's wrong. It should be 50. Okay, that's the right one. Okay, yeah, I think this is how it's supposed to be. But this cover should animate out. Okay, start with that. So let's see. I need to use framer motion for this one. So this needs to be a motion component, and I just need to import that from framer motion. Motion should be a .div. This is how framer motion controls the animation. By it has its own special components that handle the animations internally. Why are you insert anything? Usually, nagsa-Spotify ako, tas alt-tab ako ng alt-tab. Actually, yun yung daily life ng dev. Like, every 15 minutes, alt-tab. And then, mas madalas ang pag-google pag normal workday. Okay. I need to move that div. So, let's animate. Transform. X. Yeah, X. Make it 100%. Yeah, usually. This should animate if active item is not equal to null. Negative 100%. That should make it move. Yeah, but it's moving way too fast. We need to change the easing, and it's also bouncing. That's the default easing of the framer motion. Pwede ba kayo pakakla? Oo, madalas rin yan. Tapos pwede bang paayos ng TV? Mga ganun. Pero hindi naman namin alam porket nagpa-program kami. I can't remember where I put that easing. Let's see, images. This one. I need this. Just move it to the constants file so I can access it from anywhere. Import everything. What the heck is this? Transition. Oh, this one too. Export that. Does it still work though? Okay. Motion.div. So we need to set the easing of this animation, this cover. We need to use these values. These values doesn't have the bounce effect, and the default one does. So it's just, so we just import it. Transition, which should import from there. Yeah, imports from constants. Much better. The non-active list item should have the white text go to 0%. right? Rather than saying at 50%. How? How do we do that? List. If the active item is equal to the index, set it to 100%. That means it's hovering. There are 3 cases, not just 2. This one just sets to 2, so that's wrong. Let's create a variable called width. And the default is 50%, so we'll use that. If the active item is equal to the index, oh wait, no, we don't have index here. Fuck. We don't have this one. It's inside here. Okay, so we'll just move this down. Thanks, man. Else if, so we only need to handle 2 cases, 3. One is already the 50%. The equal one is 100%, and then when it's not null, the active item, it means we're hovering over something, but it is not the one that's being hovered over. We need to set it to 0%. So for that, we need width to be 100% for this one, obviously. And if the active item is not equal to null, okay, active item needs to be it's not equal to the index and it's not equal to null. It should be the other way around. Then we set the width to 0%, and then we just use that value here. This is a shorthand for width is equal to width. It's a much easier way of using it. I mean, setting object properties when they're the same name. So yeah, now we have the hover animation of the text. We need to change the easing of the white text though, because it's way too fast. Here it's much slower, the original example. I think I'll use framer motion with the same easing as the white div. That way they move kind of the same way. Okay. So right now it's just plain CSS for that text. If we remove the transition property, it'll just snap into place, which is not, it's not cool. So that element is this one. First we need to use motion again, which is from framer motion. Again, it's the special components that handle the animation. And for the width, kind of use the same. Change this to animate actually. Wait, does that just work? Hey, it already works. But now it's still the wrong easing because we didn't set the transition property. Transition. And again, we'll use the same easing configuration that we made earlier here. After that, then we're done. Well, for the text animation at least. So now I need to fix the scrolling, because here obviously the texts are very large and then there are multiple items. Right now it's just centered, all 5 of them. If I reduce the screen height, then it scrolls. It's not the right way of handling the scroll event. Let's start by actually making the font size bigger. That way we actually have a scroll bar. 100 pixels. Should be 150. Yeah. Okay, see, it's not scrolling. We need to prevent this one next. This scroll bar, I think, is from the body, which should not happen. Index at TSX. List container. The actual list. Oh, maybe this one should have. Okay, that doesn't work. List container. Where did I put the styling? What? Styles. List modules. Okay. Okay, that's not reliable. Damn it. List container. I should remove the overflow. Okay, now we don't have a scroll bar, but again, we're back to the same problem where we can't scroll the list. So I think this is the only one we have to fix, the UL, which is the one that's being centered into the div. Let's see, full screen. Yeah, so it's being centered, but since it's centered when the height is too low, it's still forcing itself to be in the center instead of trying to align its top with the top of its parent. That needs to be fixed. I'm not sure how. Display flex. List container and list. Okay, so the container is being positioned placed absolutely. Maybe we should remove display flex first. Okay, that works. Now it's aligning its top with its parent. I think it's better to see this with the border. Saying let's make it 8. So yeah, you see the top part of the list, the unordered list, but you do not see the bottom. That means it's pushing, its height is changing based on its children, which is the right way. And now for the scroll, we just add overflow auto, I guess. Does that scroll? No, it does not. Just force it to scroll. Ah, okay. I know why. It needs a height. Oops. There we go. Doesn't look right though. Okay. Let's see. We need more space. It's barely a scroll bar. Where does this come from? Okay. For now, we'll just add a padding. Padding top. 200? 300. I guess we should add a padding bottom as well. Just have a little space. And also increase the space between the actual list items. Oops. We'll fix this, which is 600 pixels instead. 0, delete that. And the list items, let's add a margin. Oh, there's already a margin. 1M. Oops. Okay, no. Let's use plain pixel values. That's weird. Why does it? Ah, because it's using display flex. Should delete that. Okay, no, don't delete that. What? Flex direction column, line items center. Justify content. Yeah, that's the one. Okay, now we have too much space. Okay, yeah, that's better. It seems like I can't leave the UL anymore since it has the whole width of the viewport. You notice I can't actually hover out anymore since the UL is consuming the whole screen, which is not good. So I think the scroll should not come from the unordered list. It should have another div that has the scrolling. So the UL does not have to take the whole space. We gotta do that. Okay. List. So we have a list container here. What? And we also have a list container here. That's not right. Should delete this. Oops. Ah, that's why I had too much space. Because it was being doubled. Okay, my bad. Okay. List container. This should have the overflow. Okay. We can't add the scroll to the list container, the one on the very top, because it's being used as the hider of the. Because if you don't have this, you have. It could break the layout. What? I don't understand. Oh, fuck it. We'll call this one styles that scroll. I think that's a easy name to remember. Let's see, list container. Can remove these. Don't need that. Let's scroll. Overflow auto. Should move this one as well. Don't need that there. Okay. Now the UL shouldn't take up the whole space. How do I do that? Delete this. I think this should be display inline. Inline flex. Okay, now it's not taking up the whole width, but now it's not aligned. So for that, we just need to add text align center. Then it'll align the text. But now we can leave. You'll notice it's not perfect anymore. The white string and the cover now overlaps. That's weird. Wonder why. Ah, the scroll bar. Okay, if I remove the scroll bar, it's gonna fix the alignment. So the scroll bar is pushing the text. Oh, that's not easy. Fuck. Hmm. How do you offset the scroll bar? Maybe this should be with 100p W. No. Okay. How are we going to fix this? Okay. This is actually not a problem for macOS because they have a better implementation of the scroll bar. So this is Windows specific. Well, yeah, Windows specific. Need to offset the scroll bar or move the scroll container outside. Let's try a different way of making the scroll container. For now, let's delete it. Okay, no, don't. Okay, no, it's fine. Text align center. Okay. Now we just need to find out where we should add the scroll. What happens if we move the cover? Okay, let's try that. What happens if we move the cover, this one, to inside the list? And obviously we need to move the animation as well. Oh no, there's no animation for that. Okay. Okay, no, that did not work. List container, cover, 500%. Oh yeah, of course that's not gonna work. Should be inside the scroll. Still doesn't work. Okay, this is gonna take a while. Let's see. Can't figure it out. Maybe I should just use margin for now. Oh no, it's the last thing we need to solve. And then we're done. So the problem is the UL. It's being pushed by the scroll bar. The covering is not, because it's position absolute. Top left 0. What happens if this is right 0? Well, obviously have to go to the right. Duh. Text align center. How do we align this? It's not a good solution to use margin because it would break in macOS. You know what? I'm gonna use the old code. How did I align this one? That's the UL. Oh, the scroll bar is not in a sub-element. Okay. I'll try something. Let's remove this. Actually, let's delete the whole thing. Delete the whole thing. Now we just need to add scroll. Let's try to remove overflow hidden of the list container. Yeah, that's better. Okay, it's still aligned. No, it's no longer aligned. Fuck. Let's fix the image container first. That one should not be moving. Image container. I guess we could use fixed. Will that look good though? Okay, it's there. It'll break the cover. The cover is going with the scroll. That also should not be inside the list, since the list has to scroll. So maybe it should be inside this one. Let's try. Let's move this animation component into the image container. This should be ported. Okay, now we still have the cover at the right place. So we're still back with the same problem where the text isn't. Wait a minute, it's aligned. That worked. What? I don't understand. That's weird. What's happening? Oh, there's another one. Image container, that's the right one. This one's the wrong one. Why is its opacity going away? I don't understand what's happening. Opacity. Nope. It's because the image is higher, has a higher Z index, meaning it's rendering on top of the cover. So for this one, where's the styling of this one? Set TSX. Z index 1 should fix it. I gotta recode this again when compiling it. Had too many blockers. But we're already done with the component, technically. It's already working. What's next? I need to do some cleanup first, I think, because this is the styling of the cover, but it's not even in this component. It should be within the images container. So it should be in this image container CSS rather than the root. Cut that, just paste it in here. Oops. And we need to import it. Change this from a normal class name to a styles.cover. It does not work. Why? Why does it not work? Hey, I just broke it again. Oh, because I didn't change this fixed. Okay, fixed. Top 0. Left 0. Yeah, there we go. I think we're done. I gotta do some polishing on the file structure. I'm sure throughout the stream it was confusing because I was bouncing between files a lot and it's not very consistent. And it's also better to have, I guess, a tutorial where we do the CSS first to avoid so many issues before moving to the JavaScript. But aside from that, I think it's good. I wonder. So yeah, I think that's it. I think that's it for today, and I'll just continue next week, or maybe sometime in the weekdays. But we'll see if I have time to do the rest. The next animation would be the menu, I think. Ideally, it should reuse the same animation component as the, or you need to turn the, I call this the mask text, where the white color fills up the one behind it. It should be a reusable component, ideally, because it's the same logic, I think. But right now, it's just dumped here. So that needs to move to its own component. And then the other one for the menu is the bubble animation. Oops. This one. And it looks like it's containing the menu and hiding it with it. So that's the goal for next time. But yeah, that's it for now.